Former President Donald Trump is returning to the campaign trail as he looks to maintain control of the Republican Party. Mr. Trump held his first campaign-style rally since January 6th. The event took place at a county fairground in Wellington, Ohio, just southwest of Cleveland. During his speech, the former president once again looked like his old self, focusing on his complaints about the Biden administration and repeating false claims about the 2020 election.
They don't want to talk about certain things. You know what they especially don't want to talk about? The election of 2020, because it's just too easy, too close to home.
For more on this, I want to bring in Seth Richardson. He is a lead politics reporter for Cleveland.com. Seth, former President Trump repeated familiar lies about fraudulent 2020 votes. What was the overall message of his speech? Did he suggest any new policies or direction for the Republican Party?
No, it really didn't seem like that. It was mostly a list of grievances, which, I think could kind of be expected to come from Trump. He's sort of, he was on that attack really after the election, and up until he was banned from social media, that was kind of the sort of ongoing message that he had. And that was the message that he really wanted to get across to his supporters last night, which were ample, and I think he just really wanted to get back out there and kind of energize them.
Well, Seth, as you know, the conventional wisdom in politics has been that candidates have to be, at some level, forward-looking. But we all know that the former president bucks conventional wisdom. I'm wondering, though, does it pose a challenge to the rest of the GOP's viability with him as the main face of the party, not articulating any new vision, but as you said, airing this list of grievances?
Yeah, I think it possibly could in the broader scale. In Ohio, it might not be so much because he is so popular here. But when you look at, the state of what Trump was in when he left office, right? He was incredibly unpopular. The coronavirus pandemic was raging, lost to Joe Biden, who, a year before, Democrats were kind of rolling their eyes at possibly having Joe Biden as the nominee, thinking he wasn't that strong a candidate. Yet, Trump did still lose to him. And if you do kind of keep rehashing these things, it is really hard in American politics to come back from kind of such a big nationwide loss like that and really be successful. That said, he has completely disproven a lot of conventional wisdom about politics before. So, maybe he can get back and kind of, regain that former energy, although I think it would be kind of hard, especially since people have soured on him following the January 6th riots.
Well, Mr. Trump's trip to Ohio is also seen as a chance to exact some revenge against Congressman Anthony Gonzalez, one of the House Republicans who voted to impeach the former president following the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. What did former President Trump have to say about the congressman, and then how is he being perceived still? Congressman Gonzalez and his vote there by his constituents in Ohio?
Well, Congressman Gonzalez is, it's sort of hard to peg down right now, right? He was famous and very popular before he was a congressman. He was a star football player at Ohio State University. He was an NFL first-round draft pick. And in the district, he was a hometown football hero, too. He's very well known, very, well-spoken guy. He's a very smart guy. So people, did really gravitate to him, and he's won both of his elections pretty handily. Not really much problem whatsoever. Obviously, there's been some souring of moods on his impeachment vote. Whether that's going to be enough to really kind of topple him, or I do kind of get the sense that, people in the area will kind of like him. But the other thing that he's kind of hostage to is the redistricting process here and how, people statewide really feel about him. And the state party has gone so far as to call for his censure and for his resignation. So I don't think he'll be getting any favors as far as redistricting is concerned. Yeah, as far as what President Trump said about him, obviously, he in the past has really talked up liking Anthony Gonzalez. He's done it at, multiple public venues, saying he was a great football player, and, Trump saying he really liked the guy. And now all of a sudden we hear stories about, at the rally last night about how Donald Trump has never heard of Anthony Gonzalez and, didn't even know who this guy was, didn't know him from Adam, except when, Anthony Gonzalez asked for a ride on Air Force One or when he was finally making the impeachment vote. So there's definitely going to be some revisionist history that comes from the president's camp on this in terms of, how much they knew Anthony Gonzalez, what they knew about him.
All right. Well, I can't let you go, obviously, Seth, without asking the big question that everyone has. will former President Trump run again for the White House in 2024? Let's first play for our viewers what he had to say.
You know, over the years, I've seen people, if they did fairly well in a primary 30 years ago, they become stars fairly well. We won the election twice. And it's possible we'll have to win it a third time. It's possible.
Seth, obviously, Ohio is very important as a key swing state. I'm just going to remind our viewers before I let you answer that President Trump won the state in 2016 and in 2020. So go ahead and tell us how a potential third run might be received there.
Oh, I think in Ohio it would be very well received. Trump is still very popular here. Won by 8 percentage points both times. Nobody thought he was going to do that well both times. Frankly, people thought he was going to win in 2016. He won bigger. I personally thought it was going to be closer in 2020. The numbers seemed to skew that way, and you know what? He repeated his victory. Had one of the largest margins in Ohio history here. In Ohio, it would be very well received. If he's going to run again, I think a lot of that's going to depend on 2022. Do Republicans take back the House? Do they take back the Senate? Does he feel like his message is still, out there and enough that he thinks he can win? Because he's not going to want to go out and lose again. It's just not, it doesn't seem like it's in his nature. So if he sees some kind of writing on the wall, I don't think he would be willing to take the risk. I think he'd rather probably sit back and kind of play kingmaker, as he's really done, over the past couple of months, even since he's been kind of, banned from social media and sort of taken a little bit out of the spotlight. He still has a very heavy presence here, especially in the Senate race. And if he doesn't feel like he can win the presidency, then I think he would just, sit back and be the guy who people come to kiss the ring.
All right. Seth Richardson, thank you.